Here today with Cheyenne Meridia, COO of Ecom Simulation. They help regular day people get started with e-commerce dropshipping. That's actually how I started my career about 8 years ago as well. And they have four times higher response rates on iMessage over SMS. And Cheyenne's going to take us through his experience with Sendblue and how we helped him get there over the last year. Thanks for hanging out with me.
It's my pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Why are you so willing to chat with us? How's your experience been?
It's been awesome. I can't speak highly enough about the guys over at Sendblue. I think their platform and what they've built is something that I think it's a no-brainer for literally anyone doing any sort of money in the online business space. Absolutely. Sam asked me, his team asked me, hey, would you be willing to do an interview? And I said, absolutely 10 times over, 100%.
All right, all right. Well, walk us through your funnel. How do you get leads? What do you sell? And where does Sendblue plug in?
Yeah, so we run a pretty basic funnel. It's a simple VSL to call funnel. We have an opt-in before the VSL, and Sendblue has been instrumental in getting response rates. So we've installed SOPs where our setters are very highly prioritizing speed to lead. So we'll have our setters reach out to these leads, usually within 30 seconds. 30 to 60 seconds is the KPI that we've set. And we have found an immense increase in terms of the overall response rates and pickup rates with the calls that we give them following the initial text through Sendblue compared to just normal SMS texting.
Let's go. I know we came into the picture pretty early on in the business. Were you using another texting provider before Sendblue, like a A2P green SMS, or was like Sendblue?
Yeah, we were just doing basic A2P green text from our CRM.
And what CRM do you guys use?
Go high level.
Very nice, very nice. So what were you doing prior with Go High Level? If you can take me all the way back like a year ago, what were you doing prior with Go High Level with those workflows? If you remember what that copy looked like or what those motions look like, and how does that differ from what you're doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of like the overall workflow and the SOPs, nothing really changed. I mean, from the beginning, I prioritized speed to lead with my settings team because that's what I had found in the past had always gotten us the best performance in terms of response rates and booking rates. Really, it was just like a matter of people weren't responding to text, right? And if they weren't responding to text, likely they weren't picking up the phone. And if they weren't picking up the phone, we weren't actually able to book people in. So really, we didn't change much in terms of like our operational workflow. We just installed Sendblue and it just overall increased the throughput in the funnel.
Heck yeah. Did you change anything about the copy by chance, or kept the same copy without the reply stop language?
I think a little bit. I think Sendblue had recommended some different things to actually optimize our response rate. So we had installed a few differences in terms of copy with the initial message. But overall, no, our setting script stayed largely the same. It was just an increase in throughput, but without really any change in our workflow.
Gangster. How many salespeople do you have using Sendblue on your team?
Right now, we like to keep the team pretty lean. So we have two different setters. And yeah, they're the ones that are primarily, in the trenches using Sendblue.
You happen to get any feedback from them about their experience with Sendblue?
Oh, they've absolutely loved it. They've mentioned the fact that it feels like they're texting them from their personal phone number, and they definitely have noticed an uptick in response rates, and have definitely felt that people are super responsive compared to the other setting roles that they've been on in the past as well.
Heck yeah. I think that's such a big part of like a sales rep's relationship with their leads, with their pipeline, is knowing like, okay, when I text this person, I'm going to look like I'm just texting from my phone. And if you use the Sendblue app, it really feels like you're just texting from your phone because you are texting from your phone. But CRM, like just being in a CRM or building workflows, it's kind of like you just start waving the white flag at like, oh, I'm a business. Like I know people are going to know I'm a business. Let me just give up.
Absolutely.
Cool. So you're texting all leads that opt in. Where else are you using Sendblue in your process? Do you do any show up campaigns with them or?
Oh yeah, totally. So what we do for like a back-end selling system is we have our setters create group chats with our closers. So these group chats are three-way group chats, and essentially it's just like a basic send off. So we'll have our setters do a send over a voice memo. And in that voice memo will be, just information about the prospect, information about, the prospect's financial qualification, information about, different barriers to actually making the sale. And we do all of that in a three-way group chat with closer, the prospect, and the setter. Right from there, we also have our setters do lead nurture, right? We have an entire lead nurture SOP that we've built out where the setters will send over pre-call resources. They'll send over different trust assets that essentially allow us to increase our show rates and close rates even further. And we do all of that through Sendblue as well.
I love that. That is awesome. So maybe my sales team, they like to, pair case studies with like, people who have similar funnels. So maybe one of my guys or gals sent this to someone that also has a VSL funnel and they're on the fence about trying Sendblue. What would you say to them?
I would say it's a no-brainer. I mean, anything in business that I think adds little to no operational drag, but increases throughput in so many different ways, right? From initial response rate, right, to phone pickup rate, to show rate, to close rate, everything. I think it's just overall been absolutely no extra workflow or headache for us. And it's just been an add-on completely. So I would absolutely recommend it to anybody.
Love
100%.
that. Especially if you use Go High Level, there is like little to no drag at all to get started on there.
100%.
Have you worked with other agencies before? Maybe not like agencies like Sendblue, but other agencies?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like
Okay.
marketing.
How has Sendblue maybe been a little different than other agencies you've worked with in the past?
Good question. Level of involvement for sure. Right. I think that's something that I don't usually see in like software companies. I think a lot of software companies, like they've built out a software, right? They give it to you. And then if you run into any trouble or if you're having any questions about the workflow or what best practices are, it's getting a hold of the team is just always a headache. It's been the complete opposite experience with Sendblue, I'd say. Anything that has come up, if I ever have any questions, if I'm ever running into any issues on the back end, I can always just reach out to the Slack channel and I'll get a response almost immediately. So I'd say definitely that has been a key point that I've really loved in terms of my experience.
Love it. Yeah, it looks like you've got John Ferguson on your team and Yasser on your team. You got two pretty good guys on your team in your corner.
Yeah, those guys are great.
All right, last part for you here. This time to plug yourself. Cheyenne, I know you're a growth operator. Who do you serve and how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, I work with typically B2C online business coaches, right? Selling business opportunities, usually making over 50K a month, helping them get to 200, 250, 500K a month. If you want to follow me, it's Cheyenne Info, my first name Info. Instagram, probably the best way to reach me.
All right, that's SHAYANINFO on Instagram. Hit up Cheyenne, send him a DM. He's an expert Sendblue user. You want to scale your high ticket coaching business? He's got you covered. You want to talk to more of your leads and get higher show up rates? We got you covered at Sendblue. Thanks, Cheyenne.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sam. Thanks for having me.